we're here to go strong. Total command, we beat you all night long. Dang, dig a dong, the time is up, you're done. Using your bridge, it was wrong. I'm here to take the place. Non-GX decks now arise from the grave. What's with the look upon your face? Empoleon's back, let me showcase the power of the bench. We acquire some revenge, smacking some GXs. Now makes sense, you can't compete with the price. Raise that screw, the ability called trade. We're the underdog and we're taking its place with the help of artillery. It's just fate. Boom. Yeah, a blast from the past. I present to you the return of Empoleon. What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome to the first episode of 2018, episode 152. First of all, Happy New Year once again to everybody out there. May all your wishes and dreams come true for this year. So, episode 152, what's it all about? Well, glad you asked. We'll be looking at the Empoleon from the Ultra Prism set today. Yeah, that's right, it's not a GX this time around, but it'll still do quite well in the current format. Okay, here we have him, Empoleon. Empoleon is a 160 HP stage 2 water type, which is kinda good, and it will be released in Ultra Prism. It's weak to lightning, which is kinda good because nowadays there aren't any tier 1 lightning decks at the moment. You might get destroyed by a random Tapu Koko GX or a Vikavolt, but for the rest that weakness is really good to have, at least for now. It might change in the future, but that are just worries for later. A Pokemon that also might just be considered a weakness is the Zoroark from Breakthrough, because it has an attack Mind Jack that limits to the amount 160 damage if we have a full bench, and we are we do plan on having a full bench, so that one can just destroy us for DCE, just saying. It's a water type, which is awesome because Volcanion decks are still going rampant in the format, and thinking about it, metal Pokemon will be seeing a lot more play thanks to all that metal support, so yeah, fire will be seeing a lot of play. Maybe we can be that underdog deck that can play that water deck, just destroy those fire types. So we can also one-shot Turtonator GXs, so that is good. And as mentioned, people will be starting playing more fire because that metal support is going through the roof. I think Pokemon really wants to get rid of that Gardevoir GX, don't they? Okay, I know it's a stage 2, which kinda sucks since we need to rely on rare candy, but if we finally can get an Empoleon out, we can start hitting for huge amount of damage, and that with the attack Total Command, which is kind of reminiscing of the attack of the Empoleon from Dark Explorers, but then a little bit better. I know it needs a water and a colorless energy, but with Aqua Patch at our disposal, we can easily get that necessary energy requirement. So yeah, just to get it through your mind, run around 3 to 4 Aqua Patches from the Guardians Rising set. So the damage output for Total Command deals 20 damage for each bench Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's, which can add up to a whopping 200 damage if both players have a full bench size of 5. So if I have 5 bench Pokemon, the opponent has 5 bench Pokemon, boom, and the Empoleon deals 200 damage. That is crazy. Add a choice band into the remix here, and we are hitting out to 230 damage, enough to one-shot all the main threats in the format. Think about Zoroark GX, Golisopod GX, Lycanroc GX, Gardevoir GX, and more. All of them will go down if they have a full bench. So yeah, Empoleon packs quite the punch. Definitely run at least 3 choice band to hit for those numbers. And I know you might think that the opponent has the control over the damage output, but just let me say this. What do you think about this? First turn, Tapu Lele Bridget. Well, almost all the decks do that nowadays, and if they don't do that, they simply don't set up. So they'll definitely have a bunch of bench space available that they're gonna use to put their weak basics on the field. And also, thinking about it, Tapu Lele picks up a lot of bench space on both sides of the field, so they are definitely gonna run Tapu Lele, so that is a bench slot. So don't be frightened by, oh no, they're not gonna bench anything. Well, sometimes they just have to. Sometimes they have to slap that Lele down, they have to get their Pokemon into play, but with choice band, and maybe we can just throw a Kukui into the mix, it couldn't hurt here, just to have a random knockout. So just to get it out. Don't underestimate this deck or Empoleon at all, because it's a one price attacker that hits for a huge amount of damage. And even in the expanded format, you can just rely on things like Skyfield and just build up on that bench space here. But I'm not gonna talk about expanded too much. Let's just focus on the standard format, because that is where the channel shines. Yeah, couldn't get out of my words here because Empoleon is making me crazy. It is that good. Okay, also think about it, if they knock out our Empoleon, they only get 1 prize card. That makes me quite excited. So that aside, it also has a second attack, which is called Whirlpool, and it deals a flat 90 damage. As a side effect, it lets you discard 1 energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So a little bit of disruption, which is neat definitely if we want to combine it with a late game end. Also, a little fun fact is that 90 damage is just perfect to one-shot Volcanion EXs, so that's a welcome addition indeed. Empoleon also has the expected 2 retreat cost, which might be awkward if we get stranded in the active position without energies, but Floatstone and Guzma are our best friends to avoid those situations where we just have to pass because we're stuck. So run around 2 Floatstone and around 3 to 4 Guzma. I think 3 is a little bit better because we need a lot of stuff in this deck, so if you find room, maybe add in a 4th Guzma. Okay, now that we know what the card does and what the main attacker of the main deck will be, the new water deck, we have to look at some partners in crime. First up, gonna look at the pre-evolutions here. We have Piplup. I know there's one already available to us. It's one from the Breakthrough set, but disregard that one. Throw it in the trash because we have a new Piplup with 70 HP. Just because Buzzwole GX is just going crazy nowadays in the format because all those weak basics. So having that 70 HP Piplup helps a lot because sometimes if we have 60 HP, just by 2 jet punches we get destroyed. So finally we have the Piplup we already dreamed of with 70 HP. If you're still having trouble with Buzzwole because they are using things like Regirock and Strong Energies and Fighting Fury Bells or Shenanigans, try out Mr. Mime. That can be the ideal bench Pokemon. We do need to have our bench full, so why not fill it up with a Mr. Mime to avoid spread damage. So if they use Jet Punch, they only attack the active. So it can also dish out some damage that Piplup here, because we're still talking about Piplup. Mr. Mime is just a tech card, so it can deal 10 damage and 20 damage, but if you're attacking with Piplup, things are probably going horribly wrong, so don't ever attack with Piplup, wait for it to evolve and smack around with Total Command. Next up is Primplup. Again, it's a new one in Ultra Prism, disregard the old one. This one has 90 HP and has the amazing Bubble Beam attack that deals 20 damage and has the chance of having paralysis with a coin flip. So screw the bubble of Froakie. This is the next best thing. We are actually dealing damage while having the chance to paralyze, or actually the chance of paralysis. So now that we cover the entire line, as you're just running around 4, yeah, we definitely need the maximum 4 Piplup, 2 Primplup, and then 4 Empoleon. So a 4-2-4 line is efficient for an Empoleon deck because we are gonna pair it with 3 to 4 rare candies, all depending on your choice. I think 3 rare candy is good. Maybe you can just slap in a Skyla or something, but if you want to have your Empoleon out really quickly, then 4 rare candies are the must. Espeon EX is also kind of an issue here because if they are using a spread deck like Decidueye or something and then devolve us, and if we evolve thanks to rare candy, we might be in some trouble, but yeah, every deck has its trouble, alright? Also, we need some draw power. The old Empoleon had the diving draw ability, which was just so great. It was the time where I just started playing and just, that Empoleon was just so great. The best thing I can recommend nowadays, because we don't have that diving draw ability, is the Auxiliary from Breakthrough with the Abyssal Hand ability. We can draw cards until we have 5 cards in the hand every single turn. Quite handy, right? Yeah, and yeah, that's why it says Abyssal Hand. Woohoo, kind of handy. Anyhow, disregard that bad joke. And since we need to fill up our bench, this is one of the best bench sitters available. If we have one of them out, we're just safely here and we can just use N in the late game. So a 2-2 line should be efficient. Also, filling up your bench is quite easily thanks to Tapu Lele and the combination of Bridget. So smack him down on the bench, grab yourself Bridget on turn 1, and then boom, drop a bunch of Piplup on the bench and a Remoraid if your auxiliaries are not prized, because sometimes that happens. Okay, next up, I do think 2 Bridget is efficient, maybe running 3 if you want to go overboard, but a little known fact is if you don't have Bridget, because Bridget can be kind of a pricey card, you can also go for Brooklet Hill, which can be a nice option if you want even more consistency to fill up your bench. And also Alolan Vulpix from the Guardians Rising set has the free attack beacon, which can work miracles by getting out 2 Pokemon just from the deck, and maybe that can be a stage 1, actually a stage 2 Pokemon Empoleon, or maybe a Piplup or an Auxiliary. It's just so good. Test out Alolan Vulpix. Also, Rescue Stretcher is a welcome addition if you lost a few crucial Pokemon during the game. I know Super Rod is an option, but you don't want to get your energies in the deck. That's why Rescue Stretcher is better. You want to keep those energies in the discard just to use Aqua Patch over and over again. And of course, 1 Field Blower. We need Field Blower in every deck, I think. So running 1 to 2 Field Blowers, I think 1 is just sufficient. Since we are not heavily reliant on abilities, yeah, our main attacker at least. Maybe we do run Auxiliary or Abyssal Hand, but we don't want to get rid of Choice Band, so only 1 Field Blower should be efficient. And now for some draw supporters. I already mentioned Kukui and a Skyla here and there, but we need draw supporters, drawing a lot of cards from the deck. things we can choose here are Sycamore. I already know the card, drawing 7 cards and discarding your hand could be great. We have N, just in the late game, drawing cards for every single prize card you have remaining. So in the late game, if the opponent still needs to take 2 more prize cards, bam, end them, and they will hopefully dead draw. Then we have Lily. In the early game, you can just draw more cards if you can get it on your opening hand, and with Tapu Lily, that's not that hard. And also the new Cynthia, which is also available in the Ultra Prism set. I think Cynthia is just a great card. It lets you shuffle your hand into your deck, drawing 6 cards. Really consistent if you don't want to get rid of stuff. Sometimes you Sycamore away all your Empoleons on your opening hand or something, I don't know. But we do have Rescue Stretcher, so I do think I still want 3 Sycamores in my deck. It's still a nice idea because we want those water energies in the discard, and Sycamore is a great way to do that. In this deck, also one Cynthia is just nice, just for consistency purposes. Sometimes you use Tapu Lele and use Cynthia instead of going for a Sycamore. You can just shuffle your hand into the deck, drawing 6 cards, could be great. Also, depending on your playstyle, you can just delete one Sycamore and add in another Cynthia. It's all depending on your playstyle. And then of course 3 to 4 N. This will win you games and regain games if I have not stated that enough. With Octillery out, we can just have all the benefit of the late game, and the opponent gets to a low hand size, and we can just draw cards with a Abyssal hand. So definitely a lot of ends in the deck. And then as mentioned, maybe one Kukui or maybe one Skyla. It's all depending on the way you want to make a deck with Empoleon. I think one Skyla is just nice. Just think about those times where you use Tapu Lele for the Skyla, where for the Rare Candy or Ultra Ball. Yeah, just a fun fact, we're also running 4 Ultra Ball. We need to get Pokemon out. So with that Skyla, I can just get out Empoleon a little bit quicker, which is well played for now. If you just have a Lele, bam, you can get that Skyla, and maybe Empoleon will show its face a little bit quicker. And then for the energies, I think running 9 to 10 energies is efficient. Basic water energies though, because we only can use Aqua Patch on basic energies. So just to get it out there, basic water energies, that's the way to go. Thanks to Aqua Patch, you can even get those energies back. So 9 to 10 water energies should be efficient to help you through the game. And lastly, I want to say is that there's also going to be a metal version available of the Empoleon in our Maze set. It's not coming in the Ultra Prism set. I think that will be the set after that. So maybe you can try that out with a couple of counter energies, because counter energies do fill that requirement for total command really well. And maybe one copy of the metal Empoleon with some counter energies could be great if you want to run a variety of types. I know it hurts the consistency a lot, but I still wanted to mention it regardless. Also, counter energy only works if you're behind in prize cards. And then another special energy is Splash Energy. You've already seen it with Greninja. It is an option, but with Enhanced Hammer everywhere, I personally wouldn't run it because we need 2 energies, and yeah, if they get rid of a Splash Energy, you're back to square one, and you need 2 Aqua Patches and stuff. So yeah, basic water energies is where it's at. And that's it for another episode on my channel. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to hit that like button. You know I always appreciate that, and it gives me the support to make better and more videos for you guys. Also check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/ZapdosTCG, where you can get the latest TCG news in town. And to finish off the video entirely, I just wanted to remind you that I have a Q&A video coming up soon, and if you want to submit some questions, there's a video in the description where you can submit any type of question. Just click that video and put something in the comment section right there. Anyways, thanks again for watching. This was ZapdosTCG here, and I'm out. Peace.